the sweet sound there of Third World. That's cool meditation. It's a shame that we can't really go somewhere that we really wish for a cool time to meditate. We can only peep through our windows to get some cool fresh air so we can meditate. But here on Feferity Radio, we give you information music that would really empower and revitalize you and make you less fearful of the world, because it's a beautiful world. And online, I have Clement Graham. He's a registered ODP paramedic, and also he works in operating theater. So let's welcome in to Feferity Radio. Welcome, Sir Clement.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me on your show. But I took this opportunity to update a lot of people, because I think we really need to be updated, because if we want to keep each other safe and do the right thing, because there's so much information that's coming across online that really can be helpful, but at the same time cannot be helpful.
Right. So before we do that, because that's exactly what we are to do, could you give our listeners just a little bit of background about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, I work I'm a registered ODP, so I've worked in all areas in operating theatres, aseptic technique. We work in, we're the ones that's part of your, put you to sleep for your anesthetic. We're there when you have your, both in surgery and recovery. So we work in all aspects with our nursing and medical team within the operating theatre, and covering areas including A&E as well. It's just to let you know that not for all healthcare professionals, irrespective of who they are, have to follow guidelines, and those guidelines really will affect us in our day-to-day as well. One of those is what we call aseptic technique. So basically keeping clean, and that's our everyday work. We have to do that. Washing hands between patients, wearing gloves. We're wearing personal protection equipment like aprons and masks, etc. But that's just only for routine day-to-day work we do within operating theatres, within ITU, also on the wards. It's practiced by all health professionals. Have to follow those codes.
Yeah.
One of those now, what we're saying now, which is really come to grip us and has forced all of us to look deeply into infection. I mean, we've heard about the Spanish flu. I thought we wouldn't have this in our lifetime, but this is in our lifetime. And I feel basically the government guidelines are appropriate for us. We really need to follow those. It's important. And one of those is basically to break the virus, which it is, because there's a difference between a virus and a bacteria. Viruses are quite weak, because viruses has to be within a body, because what it's literally doing is telling your body to make itself. So basically, once it gets into you, it tricks your cells to make itself. So what we basically do has to prevent it from getting into us. So hence washing hands is very important. Washing hands and changing gloves, that's important. It's not, you see people wearing their masks, their gloves on the street. We don't know how long they've had it. Gloves have to be changed regular.
When you said regular, I mean, Clement, give us...
Like example, it's different because we are protecting ourselves. So that's different. Yeah. But if you had your gloves on the street, on the bus, because, the virus can live literally on metal for quite some time, and you grasp it with your gloves or whatever you've got on, but you get to your house. Once you get to your doorstep, you've got those contaminated gloves in your hand? Are you going to walk in and start touching your furniture? Are you going to touch your children? You understand? This is what you got to think about. As soon as you get to your door, you remove your gloves and you put them in a bag and tie them up and drop them in your bin. Do not bring it into your house. You need to take off your shoes before you enter a house, because, again, you're carrying it on your shoes. Literally change your clothes before you lie down on your sofa or on your bed, which again, you defeat the object. It's important that you're separating infected stuff from clean stuff.
So what is the
people,
what is the difference? What is the difference between a bacteria? Because a lot of the times, all what we see now, for example, in terms of washing hands, not touching surfaces and things like that, these are just standard ways that we used to do, whereby, they will talk about bacteria because bacteria sits on the surface of all those things that we now...
Clarence, the best way to look at it, right, is like you've got a cat and a dog, yeah? The cat wants to use you to make itself. The dog is going to eat you, yeah? It will salivate on you and eat you. That's how bacteria and viruses are in relation. One wants to make itself using you as a host, and the other one wants to eat you. If you can look as basic like that. A bacteria compared to a virus is the fact that they are single cells. They carry DNA inside them. But what the difference with a virus is, a virus literally is a coat. I mean, now we talk about corona. Corona is because she's got crowns on, these viruses, and they can attach themselves to various key and lock concepts. Like, if you got a key to somebody's door, you could get into their house. Yeah, it's the same with the virus. The virus got a key to your lungs or keys to your whatever, they can get into your house. You know what I'm saying? So what it's basically trying to say, hence why we're washing hands, why we are, using aseptic technique. Aseptic means without sepsis. You're not getting infected. You're preventing yourself from getting infected. Protection of yourself. That's why I use the word mask, going back to mask, going back to even the different bacteria, for example, to answer your question. A bacteria can protect itself by forming spores. That's why it's good to use like hypochlorite or bleach to clean areas, because it will destroy the spores as well as the bacteria. A virus is the same. It's weaker than a bacteria. It has to stay in body temperature. It has to stay in liquid. So that's the difference. Where a bacteria can live on its own. It can live in the dust in the corner of your room. They're more dangerous than viruses, so they can live for years. But once they get into the right condition, a bacteria can grow, just like a plant. Yeah? A virus, it has to get into the right... It's the best way to describe it is by taking an ice cube out of the freezer, leaving it on the side. What's going to happen? It will melt. But it might take 12 hours for it to melt. But once it gets into, you touch it, you carry it somewhere else. You put it in. You might as well say put it back in the fridge. It can start regenerating.
Yeah, I mean, so, sorry, I like your analogy with the key. I mean, referring to viruses. That if somebody has your key, they can get in. So, in terms of virus, if it's given the right to enter into the body, then it will exist, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but once it's getting into your cells. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The cell. So once it gets into, what it does, it literally lands on the surface of your cell. And then what it does, it opens the door. It's like literally opening your front door and throwing its DNA inside your house. And then it's going to start telling particles within your cells that make your saliva, for example, or make your enzymes or whatever, because cells do, the production houses. And literally tells it, make me. So literally, that's what literally is doing. So what it does is the cell starts to make it. It's a virus. And it builds up until it builds up to a point where the cell will burst open. But when the cell bursts open, it sends out the new generated viruses out to other cells. and starts doing the same process. But what nature has produced, or what nature does, cells can warn each other eventually and produce their own antidote. That's why the antibiotics will not work with viruses, if this is my point. Unless they get an antiviral or DNA, whatever. This is the level they have to work on with viruses. Bacteria is sensitive to antibiotics. And even antibiotics, there are specific types of antibiotics, what we call broad spectrum antibiotics, so it will kill off those bacteria. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if they haven't, some bacteria can be resistant to type as well. So you have to remember, we're working with nature. Nature is very powerful. In plants, trees produce their own antibodies and their own spice.
Yeah.
I don't think people tell people, instead of watching EastEnders, sit down and watch David Attenborough. That man's a very good teacher. And we need to watch these programs. And unlike people like in Holland, you can't touch them. They know their stuff. You understand, we need to learn, sit down properly and broaden our, even I'm talking, go away and research what I'm saying. Come back and say, oh, Claire, you was wrong here. Fine. I love that because it boosts me too. It's about each one teaching each other regarding this. And it's very important that people know this. You understand?
Yeah.
If you want to live, follow the rules. And the rules are strict. The reason why people tend to stand about 4 or 2 inches away from each other is in case you sneeze, that's the range in which you can carry your droplet. Yeah, this is my point. So if somebody coughs as well. So that's why they're telling people to stand the distance away, in that way, in the queues, etc., because basically they know the character of what happens and how the virus can spread. Same with bacteria, very similar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, remember, we all have flu seasons because spring and autumn are usually the changes anyway, naturally. Our immune system's a bit low. We're changing for the summer anyway. Our bodies are changing and preparing itself for summer. You know what I'm saying? Same with winter. Our bodies will prepare itself for winter.
Yeah.
We're ever-changing organisms. Don't take ourselves for granted. Do not take our, nature for granted. It's very powerful.
I mean,
we don't know how to... Yeah, sorry.
No, sorry. I mean, I was going to say, what do you think of, because we're hearing a lot of, like you said, conflicting messages coming from the media and every source about vaccination being the problem. I mean, being the answer to this virus.
Well, where I said before, antibiotics only work on bacteria. Virus is a different species, so how they're going to deal with vaccines is a different development altogether. You know what I'm saying? It's a complete different development altogether. So it's a matter of knowing what the difference is in those two. I've got a very important call, so can I sign off now?
Okay, can I ask one question? I mean, because there's a text message here before you go. Is that all right? Just one question from the listener. It says, why the government on the 19th of March downloaded COVID-19 to non-contagious status. Could you find, you can find this information on the government website? Or can you find this information on the government website?
It needs to be what I always say to people, when you get information, go away and research it. It's important. Go and research it. By researching it now, you will have an idea of what you're dealing with. Go back to basics. Go right back to basics. Yeah?
It is true.
That's the only way to do it. And then you build on the basics. Don't get into the complications. Look, this is my field, and this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
If I walk into I don't understand, I go back to basics.
So do you think so do you think this is linked by any chance? I mean, I'm sure your profession is different, but we're hearing a lot. Do you think this is linked by any chance to the 5G they're talking about? Installation.
That's why I would say to a lot of people, do some research. You understand? Electromagnetic forces, those sorts of things, because then we can argue. Because with this, we're between a rock and a hard place because the way it's being done.
Mm.
So it's a matter of to sit down and do some research and come up with answers. That's how we're going to. That's what they do in China. That's what the Chinese did. A lot of the young people went away and researched their stuff. So that you can see people knocking down the towers because this is their results have come across. You understand? So there's so many conflicting information. So we need to get to our facts. So when we're arguing, we know what we're arguing about. We don't look fools.
I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah. Do you have any idea how long this lockdown will go for?
Well, to me, they didn't know themselves, to be honest with you, because look what happened with Italy and look what happened with Spain. You understand? I think we've got to stop I think where they went wrong in Spain and Italy, they were too laxy about it. They're too relaxed about it. We really need to go and research our stuff and be regimented about it now and understand why we're doing our thing. That's why I told you why we have to stand away from each other. Because if I sneeze, if I cough, I don't know what I'm passing on to somebody. You understand? And vice versa. So by breaking the virus's cycle, from preventing the virus from having its host, you're winning the game. But if we don't do this, then it will go on for longer.
How important is lime in this whole issue?
What's that?
How important is lime? The use of lime. How important is it?
Lime. When you say lime or lime?
Lime.
Lime.
Yeah.
Lime.
Yeah.
Oh, lime. Well, going back to what I said about the virus can be very sensitive to things. My point. Yeah.
Mm.
So what can happen is if the virus is sensitive to a pH, and the pH is acid or alkaline. Mm-hmm. In the case of lime is quite acidic. Mm-hmm. So I reckon that because remember, the virus can live it lives in the back of your throat for approximately, you need to go and research this, approximating, for 4 days. Mm. It could be longer, it could be less, but please let me know as well. We're all learning. However, because I know the characteristics of the virus, once it gets into that area, you need to wash it away. Drinking water, because it will go into the hydrochloric acid in your stomach, will literally digest it, kill it. Yeah? Mm. So lime, going back to what you said about the lime water, is very good. Sucking a whole lime is good for you. If you get vitamin C, it's helping the immune system, etc. as well. I would say to a lot of people, build up your immune system.
Right. Are you saying this is all about attacking the immune system?
It's about building up your immune system.
Because they're talking about people with weaker immune system will be affected more with this virus. So is it that?
Yeah, because of their immune system. Yeah, because their immune systems are weak. And what I said to you, all of us are we're on a giant spaceship Earth. Yeah, and right now we're facing what we call equinox, which we do every year. So the Earth is literally coming into spring. So at this stage, you find that the body changes. All animals, from cats to your dog, you see your dog's molting. It happens because we're preparing ourselves for summer. So at this stage, your immune system can be a little bit weak. So this is where we have to take more precaution, more vitamin C, eat more fruit, yeah, pomegranates and things like that. To eat lots of pineapple, all these sort of stuff is really, have them in your fridge. Eat your fruit. Eat an apple. A simple apple is very powerful. All these things got medicines in it naturally.
Right.
I'm not going to say not to take a Lemsip or paracetamol. Yes, if you need to, but balance it out with your fruit.
Okay.
Have a fruit salad.
Right.
Things like that.
So yeah. So you're advising us to go virtually green, really, as the answer.
Yeah, because you have to remember that all living creatures on the planet have to protect themselves from viruses and bacteria. Just the same. So you're eating a lettuce or eating a cabbage or eating an apple, you're eating the enzyme. That's going to burn away those things anyway, actually. It has its own built-in defense. Yeah? You know, it's really and truly going back to a proper balanced diet. You know, your protein, your carbohydrates, your roughage, and your water is very important because that's all going to help your immune system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the need is B12. All these things are important right now.
Yes.
And we should do that anyway. We should be doing that anyway. Anyway. Forget about what we're going through right now, which is good. I mean, sorry, which is bad. But what I'm saying, all of us who season changes should be taking these things anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because autumn and spring are our vulnerable times. You understand?
So I mean, so your advice is really about watching what we eat and try as best possible to have some fruit and really green stuff, really.
Yes.
Going back to nature.
Yes. We have to. Yeah.
Okay.
No one's going to say, disappoint you and they don't have of course you have a bit of chicken or a bit of fish. But we have to dominate our diet now with greens because that's our protector.
Do you think that? Do you think? Sorry, do you think? I mean, after all of these, I mean, it will change when everything is back to kind of quote normal. It will change the way we eat, the kind of food we eat. I mean, do you?
Of course, because if people follow what I'm just saying to you a few minutes ago, go away and research your information. Yes, go and see. You understand? Some people are going to opt if this all blows over, which eventually it will do. The Spanish flu didn't go on forever. You know what I'm saying?
And the whole world never shut down.
Aware. Sorry?
I say, and the old world never shut down about the Spanish flu. Yeah.
No, that's true. But what I'm saying is there was still the problem of, you understand? If you remember, people didn't travel that much compared to now. Technology wasn't that sort of advanced compared to now.
I mean, our grandparents came here on the boat, so they've been traveling for a long time.
You understand? No, but what I'm saying, in those days, traveling, we're living in a world village now. 1 minute you can be here, the next minute you can be in Nigeria, next minute you can be in Jamaica, next minute you understand?
Yeah.
I used to go twice a year to New York. Tutu's I'm blinking, I'm in New York. I know the streets of New York better than London. If you see my point.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
The travel. In the days of the Spanish flu, it wasn't advanced in the sense of you understand? So it was more contained within its world area. Here, Wuhan from China to here, people here in minutes. You know, Australia, minutes. You know, you name it. Come on, we're living in a different era.
Yeah.
Technology is improved. It's completely different.
Do you think, because, you know, we read a lot of things about like technology, the improvement of technology, and when it becomes so advanced, we've seen the metrics. Do you think is a different kind of, our fears we're going to be running in terms of war now? Do you think the old system of like, you know, with the guns and the, you think that is over? You think we're going to be seeing a new kind of biological warfare?
I think basically, I feel just as equally people can be thrust upon with information and knowledge. People need, because we especially this, I would say, you know, our generation have more access to knowledge than what we did 10 or 30 years ago. It was completely different. Yeah? So we can make the changes because it boils down to us and getting the right information and the right knowledge and act upon it. And even to stand up for our legal rights, like was putting prices up. But what about the what they call trading standards? That's a step in. Because it was wrong. And that's because people complain to them. You understand?
Yeah.
It's law. You understand? That's what they're trying to take away from us, our rights. So we need to stand up for our rights and stop sitting there thinking, oh, well, the government, you know, yes, but what are we going to do about it? can sit down talking about our children. Oh, yeah, I got my kids. Yeah, but what future? They're going to even look at us that why the heck we stood there not doing nothing. So we need to set up our game, teach more, learn to learn, and learn to research. Don't just take, knee jerk. I can't do that in my job. I have to sit and learn. I want to go back. I have to sit down like a child and learn. That's my job. And you can say, oh, well, he's been there for how many? No, because things always change. I left my job to go and do a somewhere, what we call a sabbatical somewhere else. And I came back. So even the machines, everything have changed. That's how advanced technology is going. So we've got to keep up and keep our minds open. We can't sit there and thinking, I'm not a doctor. It doesn't matter. You've got access to information, proper information. If you're not sure, each one is to teach one. You've got to teach me. You know what I'm saying? I have to teach you. I don't know everything. However, I'm just showing at you my expertise because this is my area that I work. Yeah. And I feel that a lot of people out there are doing it wrong. I'm seeing my job on the street and people misusing my job. So even one day I was crossing the road to my work. I saw a chap walk with a mask. I had to tell him to take the mask off. I said, your mask is hanging off. If you do what we call a dye test, his whole chest will be covered with bacteria dripping off his mask.
There was a program like that. I mean, when they looked at, they were going around. I mean, scooping. I mean, like the washing of like the towels and all the posh areas and posh houses to check. I mean, for bacteria. And even though you clean and you clean and you clean, there is still bacteria on the surface that we can't see, isn't it?
No, but you have to remember, there's bacteria, good bacteria and bad bacteria.
That's right.
You got good bacteria that sits in your gut, and that bacteria breaks down all the plant cellulose, cleans out your gut. You need that there. You need those bacteria there.
Yes.
That's why when you give when a lady gives birth to a child, they say she needs to touch herself with the baby's. She got to infect the baby with her own bacteria so the baby can digest. However, you've got pathogenic, and that's dangerous bacteria. You understand?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that will kill you. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you've got the viruses. You've got good viruses as well as bad viruses. That's nature. Nature doesn't, it's man's thinking. Oh, well, I'm my enemy. No, it's not about that. No, it's not about that. What it is about is a balance. Call that homeostasis. Everything in nature, in the universe, has to be balanced.
Yeah.
In ancient Egypt, we call it Mayat. We've got to have all these things. Not everything's going to be your enemy.
Right.
This is my point.
Right.
So we've got to, that's what I'm trying to say. You cannot be research. You can't be updating yourself. Yeah, go and look at, you got bacteria that lives in our gut.
Yep.
That can keep us young.
Yep.
If we look after those bacteria, that keep us young.
Yep.
They keep us fit.
That's right.
So we're not doing anything to keep it alive because we're feeding it wrong foods, ourselves wrong food, and then we're building up pathogenic bacteria in our system. Hence, we're getting cancers, we're getting all sorts of things because they're getting
lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle. Put it that way. Yeah.
I mean, there are people listening from around the world, and they're finding it interesting. I mean, what advice or message, because everybody, around the world now is having the same experience. So what message or advice would you have for us here on Feferity and our listeners?
All I would say to people, follow government guidelines, please. That's important. Because he's flanked by microbiologists and so on. That's how we work as well. We have to work with the guidance of the microbiologists and the pathologists. My colleague he works over at George's, and we laugh at each other because people say, "Oh," I said, "Without him, we can't survive." And when people see how they're part of the team, you understand. Everybody works as a team, and I'm really proud of them. And they work damn hard. Not even a joke.
Yeah.
This morning, I work from 7 o'clock to now. I'm lying on my back, tired. I've got probably be out again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and then you get case I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, as a result, I'm glad. In a way, I am so glad that I've worked with the NHS, and I'm really proud. And we really need to support our NHS.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah.
We don't go down the same road as America. Don't go down the same road as all the countries. When I travel, I realize how precious this is.
Yes.
Yeah?
Indeed.
People
It is
die.
true.
Yeah.
It is true.
And it's well organized. We now in England has invented a new ventilator to deal. That's one thing I take my hat off to England. It will invent things. America don't. They do, but England's invented a new ventilator system to deal with it. If you see my point.
Okay.
I'm working, seeing it. I'm seeing it. So
Yeah.
I'm not telling you rubbish.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are the positive things. Look at things positively, and then look at it that we are going to come out of it. We are going to go on a plane and go and see our loved ones. We're all going to do it.
I saw I saw the ventilation, but I think I'm not sure if that's the one that was made in China. I think China is making them now.
Yeah, but you see, that was old. You see what's happening. I've worked with a whole history of ventilators. That ventilator has been in this country from I was a student.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Used to do those types as well. It's very simple. It's with a click, 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 click type of ventilator. It's very amazing, small thing. You understand? We use it when we put patients to sleep, and we're going to do other things to the patient, like put necklines and all sorts of. It's a long story. Yeah.
Yeah.
We use the patient ventilating on the Penlon ventilator.
Right.
That'll keep the patient for a while. We're not even up there anymore. We're down there putting tubes in or IV or whatever. You understand?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So we're watching the machine. We look at the heart, we look at the saturation and whatever. So that's our job.
Yeah.
However, we are separately using that Penlon. It's a similar thing. It's not invented in China and Chinese or whatever.
No, it's not invented in China, but China are doing the production now.
Because China gets the blueprint from here.
Mm.
We've got to wake up to that. England is the center of the development of anesthesia.
Right.
That's a thing. Please go and do your history and research.
Yeah.
Then you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the other countries learned from England when it came to even America.
Yeah.
So don't think Americans they're not that powerful.
Yeah. I mean, you said something really valuable and true in terms of the NHS. I mean, when you travel, go different countries, then you really, you understand and value, the NHS here. And I'm really happy as well. I mean, last week when everybody came out at 8 to clap for yourself and all your co-workers on the NHS. But one thing that was really fascinating as well, but I think because of this corona thing going on, it kind of really didn't last long. But just after the clapping, in recognition of what the NHS staffs are doing, people like yourself, we see our national newspapers putting faces that are only white, that really infuriate a lot of black people. Were you disappointed?
I was, and I did bring it up as well. They've got to stop the crap, because there's lots of people on the ground, right, from all different nationalities, and the NHS is dominated by, I would say, a balanced mixture. When I walk into work, I'm walking into a different city.
Yeah.
With Filipinos, there's West Indians, there's Nigerians, there's Ghanaians, there's everybody in there doing their job.
Yeah.
So England needs to stop that crap. And I'll tell them to their face. I don't care if we're going to argue, but they've got to stop it. If we're going to work together as a team to get rid of this thing, we've got to work as a team and stop being, creating these papers with racism. There's no room for it right now. It's just the survival of the human race. Simple. I can't go around that. It's a fighting for the survival of the human race. Because it can all wipe out. Because bacteria and viruses don't have distinguishness. It doesn't say, oh, well, he's black, so I'm going to jump on him. Or he's white, so I'm going to jump on him. It's got nothing to do with that. It's about working with knowledge. I have to rely on my colleague who's from Korea. I've got a colleague that is from China. I've got a colleague who's just come up from my colleague I worked at Charing Cross is Jamaican. Full Jamaican man, top man in his job. Come on. We're working with so many different people. And I'm glad I did because it's learned me to tolerate. Don't get me wrong. I'm not once going to, that's what I said, England is showing its true colours. The higher the monkey climbs, the more it exposes himself. Stop. I would tell them that to their face. It's going to be silly now. You understand? They just grow up. You understand?
Yeah.
Not just them share this world. We all share this world. And who's running the NHS at the moment? It's the miscellaneous of people. Not just one. Not miscellaneous. Sorry, I used the wrong term. It's a mixture of people that's running this National Health Service. Yeah? From top to bottom.
Yeah.
My top boss is a Sri Lankan woman. That's probably my boss. Or my team could be a mixture of from Raja Jamaican to Nigerian. If you see Christmas time and people come out with their food, that's the time to see the mixture of the people. You know, when we all come together.
Yeah.
So someone bought Igustu because he's Nigerian. This one's bought some rice and peas because he's Jamaican. And so that's what we're dealing with in the NHS. They need to make it, and we got to campaign. We've got to speak out. I'm glad that person did speak out. That lady did speak out on WhatsApp. It's true. We've got to stop it. This is stupid, lily white. We're not. Yes, I still take my hat off, whether you're lily white, if you're, or whatever, because you're saving lives.
Important grass.
So
That's fundamental.
That's like chalk and cheese. It doesn't mix right now. And they damn well know it. And I will say it to them directly, because they damn well know it's silly. I said it already. They can't answer me because they damn well know. They've been. You understand? You're working as a team. If I'm what they said to me, Clem, you're assigned to go here and do blah 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 blah. I don't walk in there and say, I saw this small Sri Lankan woman, and she's my boss. I've got to. Oh, yes, mom. Okay. Blah blah blah. Oh, it teaches you lessons.
Yeah.
About dealing with people, whether she's a woman, a man, black, white, whatever they are. Yeah, you got to deal with everybody when you're working in NHS. Orientation's a damn lot. Because you're dealing with people. And you don't work there. That's what I said to people. If you don't like it, leave.
Yeah.
So, leave. Why work and complain? They're part of the organism, of the system. Without that, you collapse tomorrow, where are you going to go?
Yep.
You collapse tomorrow, you had the American system, I'd have to search your pockets for your insurance card. And if I can't find it, we'll have to probably be in a queue in a public hospital. You might die by the time they get to you.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is where we've got to cherish the national health. And those people who are adhering that newspapers need to get a life. You understand? Because not just white people run the planet. There's a mixture of people. The first people I mentioned are Filipinos. You do see a lot of Filipinos.
Yeah.
Right? Nigerian, Ghanaian, Jamaican, Somalia. Everybody's there running it, and different positions, from porters to top doctors, departmental, whatever. Because she could be Somalian. And wearing a Muslim, we're wearing her outfit. It's happened. Happened.
Yep, indeed.
So we're dealing with a multiracial organism. That's what the NHS is, and it should be represented as so.
Yeah.
Nobody left out. Nobody left out. Everybody's playing a good part.
I mean, it's so true, because this is a time where, you see people from all walks of life, races, coming together to assist one another. And everybody came out of their houses to clap. And then to just next day look at the newspaper. I mean, for us, okay, it really hurts. But I mean, I'm thinking and reflect upon the staffs. I mean, the black staffs, I mean, how they must feel. I mean, like you said, I mean, this cannot really go on. I mean, it makes you feel so hurtful because it is no need for that. There was no need for that, isn't it? Yeah.
You don't need. You see, by working in the length of time I have, since 1982 to now, I've seen changes from machinery right down to now. You understand? That's why I've got the confidence, and also I've got to say to everybody, support the National Health Service. It's a brilliant institution.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant institution. I've been to America, right? I've been to Jamaica. I've been to Ghana. You understand? I've been quite a few countries in the world. And I said to myself, America is just as equally confused as Ghana when it comes to their medical bit. You understand? Because you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right? Obama did the right thing when he did the insurance from America. That helped a lot. Right?
Yeah.
We've had doctors, interns from America come over here, right? And we had our surgeons put them in their place. Right? Eminent white surgeons put them in their place.
What happened?
When they come in here. Yeah, because we're probably operating on a man that's homeless.
Right.
We're operating on somebody who is drunk and he goes and destroys the equipment and he comes back. Here, what the American interns have turned around.
Right.
We would not operate on those people. So the surgeon says, well, we follow the Hippocratic Oath. So everybody has to be treated. See how the National Health makes a difference. She had to shut up. And he told her, if you don't like it, leave my theatre. This is what you're dealing with. Americans, I would never take on their system. How dare they? They're trying to come over here, take it out and move.
I mean,
you need to move on.
That is really, really terrible. It is really terrible. I mean, do you believe, because we've been hearing a lot of talk about privatize the NHS. I mean, is that in our lifetime, if it's possible?
If you don't stop it, it will happen. But we got to remember, we're the people, right? And if we don't do nothing about it, we can't talk about it. It's like me coming to your house, right? Pushing you out the way, telling you that you've got to go and sit in the front room, and I'm going to cook the dinner now. Understand? This is what's going on in England from America. They're pushing us to one side.
As long as you don't ask me to pay for it when I'm eating it, that's cool.
No, but it's my point.
I know.
How America has got no. To me, if I come to your house, you have your house rules, don't you?
Yeah.
Probably have to take my shoes off when I come to your house. Probably I may have to wash dishes, put my things in the sink.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I'll wash it. You understand? You've got your rules. Everybody's got their rules. Each got its rules.
Yeah.
France got its rules.
They think they're the big bosses, isn't it?
But the big boss is a big rule. Sorry, America is bullying itself to other people. In the sense of we want your system to be like. I don't want their system to be like their system is. What happened in New Orleans hurricane? It was disgusting.
Yeah.
People were left chained in the prisons in sort of private prisons that had no accountability to government. The same over here now. They're privatizing, tagging people and all that. The madness. So can you imagine? They're going to privatize the NHS.
That would be a catastrophe.
It's cheapening things, and it's so cheap. Here in the NHS, you are working as a team. We have to do briefing before we talk to you. If we know you before you come to us.
Yeah.
We brief about you. We grieve about you. They're coming, remember the lady that we did yesterday? Oh, wow. Yeah? It's not, okay, next. It's not like that.
No.
You're dealing with emotions.
There's a human Yeah. So, we would like to preserve that. I mean, well, the big question is, there's so much talked about it, and we're not really sure. Well, I'm not sure. I mean, you're saying it's up to us. I mean, when this will actually happen here in the UK, if it's going to be in our lifetime.
Because if we don't allow think about the virus, forget about the the politics. Look how the virus works, then you will understand. Because they have to do policies and procedures around that character. And it's not something even before the problem was going on as a seasonal thing. Every season, the amount of people, you'd be flabbergasted, the amount of people that died of flu. You'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But it's only because it's not published, it's not talked about. It's my point.
Yeah.
But because this is talked about, it's gripped the world and it's affected everybody. People have got to stand back. Look at the sky; it's clear, and I haven't even heard a plane. You understand?
Yeah.
So infection's not running around the planet, right? The sky's been blue. I felt so good air for a long time. Because there's so much cars on the road. So I've heard other countries. They've never seen blue skies for a long time. Even in Ghana, some traffic again on the roads. It's gone. They've cut it. It's gone. You can walk down the road.
Yeah.
We need that as well. Our planet also needs to clean itself, and we got to have more. We're going back to your question, where you said we'll be thinking different. I think we will, and we need to pass this on to our children, the next generation. We need to pass that on, because they're not going to forgive us if we need this planet. It's like me come to your house and I leave your house dirty. Are you going to be pleased with me?
Hey, you're not coming back, are you?
Exactly. Look at drama you've taken. And can you imagine? Look how we're leaving our Earth.
Yeah.
For our next generation. They would definitely won't have us back. We would definitely won't come back. That's what I'm saying. Go back to your question. We've got to make provisions for our children.
Yeah.
We cannot sit there and the selfishness. I think this generation is very selfish. It was going down that road, and I think it stopped now. People that never used to speak to me for years are saying hello to me. I've never. Hi. Are you surprised? They're saying hi to you.
Yeah. I
so
think.
It's this point.
Yeah. I think in some ways it's good. Like the humanness of it, to really acknowledge that we're so much fallible. It doesn't really matter who we are, what powers are out there, or what you really believe in. There is this sense of like fallibility where we think that we're so fragile, anything could happen to us at any time. I think that has, this situation has given us that sort of thought. Hence we're very kind of humble to, what is going on now is a reflection, isn't it, of the lifestyle and so on and so forth. Whether all this is over, we're going to come back to normal, touching and hugging each other. Do you think that's going to happen again?
I think it will, because it will. It's just because you got to stop in your head and think. This is precautionary, so that this thing don't spread. All I'm saying to people, get the characteristics of the virus.
Right.
Find out how it works and why we are taking these steps. If this thing then goes, we know definitely we can go back to some form. We have to think cautiously differently now. And what you said earlier on is things will slightly change. And it has to. You understand? And people won't take this for granted anymore. There's more respect for our planet. That's bottom line.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to go off and veer in their madness again, that's up to them. But I think bottom line, we've got to look at the reality for our children's sake.
Yeah.
Because I find it quite upsetting when people say, oh yeah, I've got my daughter and well, what decisions are you making for these children? I'm sure our parents did it for us. Why can't we do it for them?
That's a big question. Yeah, that's a very big question, because, relationships now with children, I think came to a sort of like a family understanding because of the mobile phones. We did sort of had before the precautionary steps that we need to adhere to with the mobile phones. And as soon as our children, has their hands on the mobile phone, I think it changes the behavior and their attitude towards the parent.
Exactly. And the thing is, we got ourselves to blame because you can't put your child in front of a TV and expect the TV to educate it. No. My dad used to say to us when we used to watch EastEnders, it's a set. It just to upset us. He used to say, all that is a set. And all the, especially the girls in the family, Dad, you have that. But when they sit back, it's only a set.
But it is true, though.
Good. I like that. I love that. Yeah.
Why is it the women? Because you find a lot of women who were stuck onto EastEnders and all those soaps. Not so much of the guys, but why do you think women so trapped into it?
No, I think you got very educated women that wouldn't even watch that. I know that's so straight. Yeah? There's some intellectual women that will sit down and have intellectual, and that's not their mode. However, it's about comfort.
Right.
Women are more comfort and consolidating and bringing things together. It's a very female thing. Some men will have it as well, not just women. And some women can be very masculine and just shut that. So we've got to balance that, if you see my point. Everything what I said to you in the universe has a balance.
Yeah.
Every differences. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm glad I have that concept because I don't, if you, I'm not saying your question is saying stereotyping women. I'm just saying.
No, I get it.
Women's that way. You've got professors. Remember, you've got women that are professors.
Yes.
So they're not thinking that not going down that route. That's what we've got to be careful when we're talking, if you see my point. Because you understand, it's so easy. But I think now, compared now to our parents' day, I don't think that way. I fit in with the fact that we are working as a multiple organism.
Yeah.
Whether it's female, male, you name it. Going back to your question, though, because I'm not avoiding the question, women, female or the feminine energy, right, which you can find in men as well, can also, it's consolidating. It's, I want to stay together. I want the kids together. I want us to sit around a table. You understand?
Yeah.
So soap operas is one of those that's capturing people. You understand?
Yeah.
But it's not giving them the right messages. That's what the psychiatrist
entertainment, isn't it?
It's not giving us the right signals, the right messages.
Yeah.
So,
isn't it? Well, so Clement, you've been a really good orator and a teacher, setting up some clarity for us here on so many aspects. And I want to thank you very much for stepping in and talking to us here on Feferity Radio.
Okay. And it's a pleasure sharing that with you. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, and I hope that we all can learn from each other and go away and research what I said. Please, somebody find something that I'm wrong and let me know because I've got to learn from you guys too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, one teach one.
Each one teach one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, Clement.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.